And tomorrow, I am scheduled to hold a news conference, so maybe I will be able to provide more detailed ideas at that time. The priority is to, first of all, analyze what has happened in Japan. And France has been using nuclear energy from the past, and we would like to continue this path. But in order to continue this, we would have to have a safety standard. That will be very important. And the priority, France is one of the countries which puts priority on the safety standards. So first we must study the situation in Japan, and we would also study and inspect all the nuclear power plants in France.
And upon examination, if the nuclear power plants did not meet the criteria, we'll be closing down such plants, because safety is very important. And that is something that the people in the world should understand. All the safety criteria must be followed, and there must be a firm standard, or else we could not maintain nuclear power plants. And France is, of course, going through such route. I'm from El Monde. I'd like to express my sympathies and condolences to Prime Minister Kan as well as the Japanese people. Now, does nuclear power have future? And from the people, there has been complaints about a lack of transparency, and since private companies are running nuclear power plants, there has been criticisms on it. And Japan is a tsunami-prone country, so isn't it difficult to operate nuclear power plants in Japan? In France, I think France is rather a safe country compared with Japan. Well, I would like to thank you for your condolences. In our experience of nuclear power plants, this accident has been the most severest in history. And based on that, what we have to analyze and examine why this accident had led to this proportion. And based on that, we have to revisit the way we use nuclear power. Based on such examination, we have to discuss our future policies. For humankind, the nuclear power plant is a product of our wisdom. We have been creating energy with that, but at the same time, such an accident had taken place. So we must reposition the nuclear power plant to become a more safe plant so that such an accident will never happen again. And there was this discussion about the nuclear power plant being run by a private company. In Japan, all the utilities are privately owned. Now, at this point in time, well, since the situation is not under control yet, I think this is not a time to touch upon such issues. But at any rate, when the situation is under control, then we will have to think about the way the electric power companies should be, including the possibility of its survival.
Independent body and experts should establish international standards. And under international safety standards, probably there are some points that we should strengthen in terms of terrain or under some conditions. And the experts should point that out. And, well, the world has become globalized. The world is one community. So what happens in one place affects other places as well. So this is not just an issue of one country. This is the issue of the global safety. And probably the experts will change the safety standards depending on the country's condition or depending on the risks. Well, probably it was not the earthquake, but probably it was tsunami that affected more. It's not the issue of the nuclear power plant, but rather it was the issue of tsunami. And the tsunami affected probably the cooling system of the nuclear reactors. The building itself sustained and remained even in the earthquake. And according to Prime Minister, the nuclear reactors automatically suspended. It was functioning, but later the tsunami that followed it, that was the problem. So we should establish safety standards against the risk of tsunami. That's another thing that we should work on. And we should calmly observe the current situation and make sure that the same thing never happens again.